This time I'm gonna smoke it.
Is it in there? Are we recording?
Yes.
Yo, turn my mic up. Okay. Hey, Juan Gee.
Wait, we haven't introduced ourselves.
Hi, I'm sorry.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of
Yeah.
Ask Juan and G. I'm Juan.
And I'm G. For
And-
those of you who don't know, hopefully we have some new people watching this video. So I'm G.
And this is this week's question.
Hey, Juan and G. I recently stumbled across you guys' blog. I love it. It's very inspirational. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We can't
really
ever say
appreciate
thank you
that.
enough. I, of course,
Very
have a
much.
question topic for you guys to address since it isn't really easy to talk about in our community. Or it isn't even talked about in our community. To get to the point, I am a 27-year-old man living with herpes. I have been single for around 3 months now. And while I'm taking this time to get back to myself, dating keeps crossing my mind. How do I tell a guy I am interested in that I have herpes? How am I to date knowing that I am carrying around something most people would probably not accept? Again, love the work you guys do, and any advice would be appreciated. What? You was about to say something? Okay, go ahead.
He's
Because
like,
you know I always got my first and foremost.
yeah, well, I think you need to accept the fact that you have herpes.
What I was going to say.
Because this letter, this question doesn't sound like you accept it because you're already condemning yourself right out the gate. So that thought process, which is very difficult, has to be reversed. You have to say, I am still a catch. I am awesome. I am me.
Yeah.
And this is really my set of baggage.
Exactly.
We all got our baggage,
I was
our
about to
luggage
say.
that we carrying.
And you know what, too?
So,
To be honest with you, 9.9 times out of 10, we have all put ourselves in situations where we could have caught herpes. We just was lucky enough where we didn't catch herpes.
well,
so
and
doesn't-
isn't it? Well, it depends. I guess it depends on what strand or strain. But this is like 90% or 80% of the population has some form of herpes.
Yeah, I'm sure he's talking about the other one, though.
Right.
But you
no.
know, we've all put ourselves in a situation where we could have gotten any type of STD. That's from HIV to herpes to
Syphilis,
chlamydia. You know,
gonorrhea.
a lot of us has probably already had them, and blah blah blah. You know, so be comfortable with that and know that it can happen to anybody. Nobody wants it. You're right. But like Juan said, the first step is you have to be comfortable with it. A guy that is going to see value in you and is mature enough to handle people who might have herpes. Will accept you for you.
I also wanted to say that so we all have our baggage that we're carrying. So yes, but that's the hardest.
I ain't got no baggage.
That's the hardest part, in my opinion, because we are our own worst critic.
Yeah.
And we always create these scenarios in our mind. Like you say, I've been thinking about dating. Like you should be dating. Your social life, your love life should be thriving. Like just because you have
Well,
herpes.
he's newly out of a relationship.
Well, but still, he's like, oh, what should I do? But I think once you accept it, then begs the question, oh, when do I bring it up to someone I'm interested in? And I had a friend who was HIV positive. And he would tell anyone he was dating, I'm HIV positive. First date, boom.
Yeah.
He didn't want to lead him on. He didn't want.
Well, I think that's good.
He felt,
He's comfortable.
And I was on the fence with it. Because I was like, on your first date, you are going to divulge this information. You don't know where it's going to go. You don't know blah, blah, blah,
He
blah,
was
blah.
comfortable.
He was comfortable. He was.
That's it. You
But-
don't care who knows. He doesn't care who knows. He'll probably put on his Facebook set. Seriously,
True,
he was
true.
proud of who he was. I don't think there's anything to question about that. He should be able to go to a party and
I'm
if
not
he feels
saying that
comfortable enough.
I'm not
well,
saying
you
that he
said that
doesn't.
you was on the fence about
Well,
him
and-
doing that right out the gate.
and that's
you don't
what-
care where the information's going to go. Who cares where it goes?
But no, that's not what I said. But what I was saying was, what I was saying was, the next step is like, okay, so when you are dating, how soon do you tell someone your status? And that's what I was going to say. I'm kind of on the fence with that because while I do agree with my friend, you should be upfront and let people know, I don't necessarily think the first date is
Why?
that moment.
Why?
Because I feel like the first date is really just pleasantries.
And I understand that, but do you feel like, okay, well, put it like
and
this.
it depends
Put
on
it like
how
this. Let me ask this
it
question.
depends on how the date was going.
Let
Because
me ask-
on our first date, it was kind of different because
Well,
we went deep.
Let me ask
But-
this question. Is that the same case when you meet anybody? Let's just say he meets a person at a party, and for whatever reason the conversation comes up, and he says, I'm HIV positive. So you'd be like, oh no, I just met you. This is just supposed to be pleasantries. Maybe we continue to be friends. Then I can tell you.
I don't understand.
You said that on the first date you should not tell a person because this is you feel like you're on the fence because you feel like it's just pleasantries and you shouldn't get that deep, right? So what I'm saying is, taking what you feel about that beyond just dating, if you are proud about who you are, and a part of who you are is that I'm HIV positive, do you also feel that way if you just go and meet a random person that you shouldn't tell them either? Like, why do you think that's something you should keep to yourself until you think the relationship is going to go somewhere, or you might not see the person again? Like,
I don't
you're
feel like
comfortable,
I
but who
don't feel
cares?
like those are conversation starters. You know, like, hey, I'm Juan. I'm HIV positive.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying. Let's just
If
say
it comes up, yes, it comes up. But I don't feel like I feel like it's something you should divulge before you have sex with someone. I don't necessarily think it's something you should divulge in a casual dating scenario.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
So,
But I'm
but
just saying, I
those are
don't
the
think there's
different-
anything wrong with that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just said I was on the fence because of that situation with my friend and all of that. I've always straddled the fence.
Well,
on
let me
this
ask you
because
this.
I do feel like if I were to meet someone out, I wouldn't want to know.
Well, let me ask you this question. Okay, so what if you do? Then what?
What if you do?
What if you? Okay, for a situation like you said, you know, this is just pleasantries, and the person do tell them that they're HIV positive, and hold up, and they never see the person again, and it's done. Then what harm has that done to the person who has divulged the information?
It's not. It hasn't done any harm.
I guess I don't understand your point.
Because all that to say, I was like, the next question is, when do you divulge the information? Because I feel like that's the natural next step. Like to this, okay, yes, you should tell, blah, 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 you want to date. When do I tell?
I feel like
That's why I brought it up.
I feel like you should tell anytime before having sex with a person when you're ready to tell. But if you get to the point of having sex...
At any point before having sex,
yes.
whenever you're comfortable.
Exactly.
Okay.
But
I agree.
It needs to happen before you have sex with that person. So if that's the first stage, if that's 3 months down the line, as long as y'all haven't had sex yet, then keep it to yourself until you feel comfortable. Once you get to the point where you decide you're going to have sex with that person, it is your responsibility, I believe, to tell that person. And it's that person's responsibility to ask the question. I know this video has went really long. Y'all got into a little debate.
Maybe.
It happens. Maybe we'll edit that out.
Right,
maybe
maybe
not.
we'll cut it out.
But thank you for asking. I hope that answered your question. Please keep sharing and liking
What
our
was
videos.
the question?
Please keep sharing and liking our videos and asking us LoveWorks@WannaG.com. Thank you.
Adios.
Damn 12-minute video.